Alright, howdy again, folks. It is I, Brandon Wenzel, the master of movies, the sensei of cinema, the victor of videos. That one's kind of lame. I apologize for that one. That one's not very good. But I'm all those things and more. That don't relate to this, really, but I'm all those things, and I'm Brandon Wenzel, damn it, and I'm here to review martial arts movies. That's why I'm here. This is the third video in now of this thing that I'm doing, project, program, show, whatever. Coming again from the glory and splendor of my basement. By the way, I did not get a haircut in between videos. It is all thoroughly back here. I guess it's more professional, or at the very least, hopefully, having watched my own videos, might cut down on, like, the, things that I do with my hair and stuff, but, probably not, but that's the hopes. So, a quick little update about just the show real quick. I'm trying right now to, like, come up with, like, a title for it or something, just so that I can put that in front of the videos, and then, people will be able to follow it from there easier if they decide to follow my stuff or to search for it. I don't really have a name set up right now. Like, I haven't come up with a good one. If anybody watches this, if you have any suggestions for me that aren't, just like eat a dick or, you suck or something like that, or cat videos. No fucking cat videos, please. As long as it's nothing as long as it's not something like that, before I come up with, one, which I'm probably being rather egotistical and even assuming that anybody will watch this, but if you do, if you have any suggestions, please write in the comments section or whatever. Because at this point, like, I'm just thinking, like, big tits, for all of my things, just so that, it'll increase the search results. That's the plan right now, and so unless you want to go to YouTube and type in big tits and see my idiot face on there talking about martial arts films, help me the fuck out here, because I'm drowning. But drowning aside, on my last video, I announced I was going to do a Cynthia Rothrock marathon, and I'm going to go into who she is in just a second. I do, however, want to apologize in that the marathon didn't exactly go the way I'd planned. I kind of managed my time poorly for the day. I'm still new to this whole thing, and it's not terribly... I am getting a little bit better at it, I will say, but it is not terribly easy to do these videos. I usually end up having to do, like, several attempts, and then I usually end up with, like, one sort of proto-finished project, and then one that, ends up being the project, and I'll choose between the two of those, and if you've seen any of my other videos, these can run kind of long, so, I have to rewatch them, and, that's like another hour or so of time. So that's part of the reason why this has been taking so long, so I do apologize for that, because, again, I did legitimately want to do, like, a marathon. I just kind of woke up late and didn't end up having the time that I thought I would. So, but what I'm going to do, in honor of Miss Rothrock, which again I'll get into in a minute, and if you're watching this and if you've seen my other videos, chances are you already know who she is. You're probably a fan of these films. But what I'm going to try to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a movie tomorrow. I might try to do another one later tonight, depending. But if I don't, I probably won't be able to do one tomorrow unless I do it really, really late, because I'm kind of doing stuff tomorrow. I'm going to get the fuck through this. But what I'm saying is this. I am going to do a Cynthia Rothrock marathon. I just might do it like a day-by-day thing or something like that. I'll fit it in when I can fit it in, is what I mean. So, since I wasted almost 5 minutes on fucking nonsense, what do you people put up with me? God, I'm terrible at this. But whatever. Alright, so let's bypass that. No reason to wallow in self-pity or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Alright. So if you watched my last one, you know, of course, that I'm reviewing this. Boom! Lady Dragon. Starring, boom! Cynthia Rothrock. Who is, boom! Amazing. And Boom! One thing I want to bring up about this DVD. Why? Why is it upside down? Why is it upside down? I can't do anything with this. When I put it up with the rest of my fucking DVDs, see, I don't put it like this. I have to stack them up like this, so it's upside down. That's idiocy. Whoever came up with this DVD cover, fuck you very much. That said, on to Cynthia Rothrock. Okay, I'm going to do a quick little thing because I am going to do sort of a marathon of her films to a certain extent. So I'm not going to go into every single thing right now. Hopefully that'll cut some time. Cynthia Rothrock. She is amazing. She is, I think, honestly, you could argue one of the queens of martial arts cinema. Women in martial arts have been, unfortunately, I think, treated as more of a trend rather than as a fully integrated part of the cinema style. And to be fair, I mean, martial arts in general is more of a guy thing than it is, you know, for the ladies. For the ladies. But that said, you know, it definitely is a bit more of a boys' club, but it's often treated as just kind of like a trend, like, you know, you'll see little spurts of it here and there, and then it'll just kind of fizzle out. And Cynthia Rothrock, first of all, I think she's risen above that. She is not a trend. She's not, you know, she is here. She's been doing this since the 80s, you know, and she's one of the most non-bullshit women fighters in these films. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of female cinema fighters who are great, who look great on camera, but don't necessarily really, absolutely, don't tell anybody, have a real martial arts background. A lot of them come from dance backgrounds, and then they kind of pick things up in the films. Now, that doesn't, to be fair to any of them, that doesn't take away from them as far as the cinema is concerned. It absolutely, I mean, you know, Michelle Yeoh, Cara Hui, you know, not, you know, specific martial arts backgrounds to start out with, and, you know, they learn their stuff and are amazing, you know, but Cynthia Rothrock is one of the ones, she came out, you know, she came from a martial arts background and then went into cinema, so, which is really impressive, and she's continued that, which is amazing. She's like a seventh degree black belt in Tang Soo Do. She's was the 5-time karate forum champion. Again, I got my little cheat sheet over to the side there, just because I couldn't remember exactly. But whatever. That's my point. She is awesome, which is why I am honoring her this March, March 8th. She had a birthday. I'm not going to say how old she is because that is not polite, and I was raised better than that. Though I was apparently not raised to not swear all the time and to make odd little gestures in my face when I talk and stuff and when I'm doing these stupid videos. I do want to point out, by the way, sometimes I'll go over there and I'll be doing things with my nose. I'm not picking my nose. I'm really not. It's just I have a terrible, stupid mustache and I have curly hair, and sometimes it just kind of curls up into my nose and it fucking drives me nuts. So even though I'm watching a video and I see myself do it, I'll be like... And you can take it for what you want. If you think I'm picking my nose, then I'm picking my nose. I don't care. As long as you watch the fucking videos and you're having fun with it, I don't care. But, interjecting things. So, Cynthia Rothrock, she's amazing. Like I said, I don't want to go into everything right now because I want to save some stuff for the later films. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into this, into Lady Dragon, okay? And I'm going to explain a little bit about why I chose this one, and you've seen the review format. Okay, Lady Dragon. This is Cynthia Rothrock. It's not the best picture of her, and the back pictures are even worse. So that's great. Okay, why did I choose this film over Cynthia Rothrock's other films? Because she has lots of them. It's not her first film. I do actually own that as well. It's back in the stack behind me. But I didn't choose that one. This isn't even my favorite of her films. In fact, I chose it because it's kind of a middle of the road for her, as far as her films are concerned, as far as I'm concerned, because she did quite a few films, and check them out. I mean, they're all wonderfully entertaining. I mean, just IMDb check or whatever. They're all wonderfully entertaining. But, you know, like with anything, there's a scale in life that's just, you know, you have good stuff, and then you have not so good stuff. Let's not call it bad stuff. That's not polite in reference to Miss Rothrock, who is amazing. But this is kind of somewhere in the middle. And that's why I chose it, because I figure I can do some that go up and some that go down from there. And that's kind of what this film is, at least in my opinion. And it is still, like I said, it's still a badass movie, okay? I mean, it's directed by the guy who did The Kickboxer, and I think he also did Bloodsport, too, with Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, a name that probably anybody on the planet is familiar with. And this was sort of, I think, his attempt to kind of bill Cynthia Rothrock as that person. But going into the film itself, because I am going to try to cut down on the video just a little tiny bit. Okay. Cynthia Rothrock, she's in this movie, right? She plays this chick named Kathy Gallager. Now, I just want to point out that unless you're a member of a British band from the 90s, or you're a dude with a mallet who smashes fucking watermelons on stage for a living, Gallager's just an ugly name. No offense if you happen to be somebody who has the name Gallager. It's just not the prettiest. And my point to this, it's not to insult the Gallager clan. Lord knows I don't need their wrath on my hands. I've got enough fucking blood feuds as it is. But that's not my point. My point is simply this. Cynthia Rothrock is not Kathy Gallager. She's Cynthia Rothrock, of course. Now, I'm not saying that they had to name her Cynthia Rothrock. That's fine. But my point is, you got to name the character for the film. Why the fuck would you name her Kathy Gallager? It's just not it's not an attractive name. Kathy's fine. I got nothing wrong with Kathy. Though I'm sorry, I don't like Kathy Griffin at all. She's just not funny to me. Well, I won't say that. I've cracked a smile at one or two of her jokes, but that's a completely separate thing. Kathy's aside. Gallager is aside. Movie. She plays Kathy Gallager, but she's Cynthia Rothrock. I'm just going to call her Cynthia Rothrock. Alright, so she's over there, and she's out in, like, I believe it's in Thailand, right? Because a lot of these films, Bloodsport and all, Kickboxer, all Thailand. So she's out in Thailand. And she's this, like, badass, ass-kicking chick, right? Who goes over there to, like, fighting pit fights and stuff like that, and fights dudes who are, like, twice her size, beats the hell out of them. All the while, this, little dude with awesome sunglasses and a badass metal cane just sits there and watches and secretly wishes his penis still worked and could fap it to this stuff. Because that's the thing, no one is that stoic who has use of their penis. No one. Unless you're, like, enlightened or something. I don't, but otherwise, he's a fucking eunuch. And if he can't even be a eunuch. He can't even be a eunuch, because if you've seen martial arts films, you know that if you have a eunuch in a martial arts film, they will get evil powers, and they will be the most badass, awful person to deal with in the film. That's a completely separate thing, though. So, but he's in charge. He's like the referee or something of the fights to make sure that they're, there's no rules, but, that everything gets done. But anyway, alright. So, she's all pissed off and everything because I guess, like, she and her husband were CIA or some shit like that, and they're trying to track down this guy who's like this international douchebag guy. I'm gonna try and come up with more insults than like douchebag and dickbag and things like that, because there's a lot of bags going around, and this fucking condom-faced guy who sure, he's a condom face. Why not? This condom face guy's over there, and he's just he's like perfect, martial arts film douchebag. Or condom face. He's an all around prick. He goes over there, beats up women and whores and stuff like that, and I just keep tapping this. It's like a song. Swear I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. But he's just a dick, alright? Like, and he's international, he's got a bunch of money, and he's just terrible. Said condom face, dick prick, guy is played by Richard Norton. Now, Richard Norton is amazing as well. And on top of that, it's awesome because he has a cool history with Cynthia Rothrock. They've been doing films together for quite some time. They're actually friends in real life. And he is a bona fide badass as well as Cynthia. I mean, you know, this is a guy who, you know, he used to be a bodyguard for celebrities and stuff like that. You know, he's been training in martial arts for like 45 years or however long. You know, he's been doing it quite some time. He's quite astute at it. Quick little thing on him, I just wanted to bring up that he developed his own fighting style, and it's called Zendo Kai. I just wanted to bring that up because I'd never really heard of it, and you know, so I wanted to, you know, a little plug for his style. Aside from all the other styles that he's amazing at. But in any case, so the two of them have worked together in a number of films, both working, you know, with and against one another. In this, they work against. Very, very firmly against, because Richard Norton is just fucking sleaze in this movie. I mean, if you watch my first official review, you might remember Don, okay? No. He is not, he's worse than marker level, okay? He's like half drunk Coke can fucking level of douchebag, alright? That's the level of just condom face asshole that this guy is. I mean, he is just evil as fuck. He delights in just the utter derailment of any human decency. That's like what gets him off. Literally, I'm not even fucking kidding. That's his fucking thing. But condom face McCocan here. There's an Owen Norton. Yeah. The O stands for Norton. He goes over there. I don't even have his name because it doesn't say it on the back of the thing, but I don't care. So, he goes over there, and he's just a dickbag. And I guess Cynthia Rothrock got married to CIA guy, and condom face McCocan went over there and had him killed because they were getting too close or something like that. You never really meet her husband. But you meet her husband's best friend, who tries to warn Cynthia off, you know, you're getting too close, all that bullshit. But of course she's like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want, because this is the 90s, and I don't have to be a belligerent servant to you like I would have fucking 50 years ago, so suck my ass. That's pretty much what she tells the guy. So she goes and decides to do this whole thing herself. She dresses up as a hooker, goes to a nightclub, fighting ensues, this, that, and the other thing, and you think to yourself, alright, Cynthia Rothrock, she's amazing. Bum-ba-da-bum. She's amazing. But not, at this point, amazing enough, however, to really kind of get the best of condom face Richard Norton, to go over there and win the day. Now, the reason why I bring this up, instead of just kind of, you know, oh, well, this and this and that, the reason why I go into this is because it leads to what I feel like if I met Cynthia Rothrock, God willing one day, I would have to ask her about this scene. I really would. Like, as uncomfortable as it would be for me to ask about it in a certain way, I would have to, because I'm kind of morbidly fascinated with, like, what... So the scene itself, the scene that I've been projecting, there's a scene where condom face Richard Norton Coke can man rapes her. He just pins her down and fucking rapes her. Now, they don't show much. I mean, you know, and, you know, nothing graphic or anything like that. But, I mean, you do basically see her, or see him go over there and, you know, slam her onto a bed, you know, face down, and her just, like, grabbing the bed in tears. You know, and him going over there and undoing his pants. And then it switches scenes to them, you know, tossing her out of a moving car. And it's just really unsettling. I mean, rape in general is unsettling. Like, let it never be said that Brandon Wenzel, promotes rape, except of, like, the worst possible people. And, just general awful, terrible people. I don't mind if they get raped. That's fine. But Cynthia Rothrock did not deserve to be raped. And it's just such an unpleasant scene. And the thing that makes it even more unpleasant when you think about this, and this is what I would have to ask her, is like, I mean, they're friends. Richard Norton and her are friends. Like, I've had some friends that go back to middle school, and I'm not comfortable enough with being over there, just being like, hey, dude, would it be okay with you if you could rape me in a scene? Like, it doesn't even have to be a thing, we'll cut out a thing, no pants have to come off or anything. It's just so unsettling and terrible. And I do know from watching commentary on other films where similar things have happened, that it is a legitimately unsettling thing for a lot of times for the women who are involved in this. And so I would love to know, like, her perspective on that. Like, was it unsettling, like, after the fact, even though he's your friend, and, like, were you able to look at him for, like, a month? I don't know, but that's what I would ask. And he proceeds to threaten to rape her again later on, too. I mean, it's Richard Norton has played some villains in his time. This was probably his worst, just the worst in terms of utter lack of morality. Utter lack of morality. So little morality. I mean, he is a fucking pit of darkness in this. He just is. Darth Vader would show up and be like, I don't want to. I got better shit to do with my time than to go fuck with that. So, anyway, Cynthia Rothrock gets picked up by this little kid who lives out in the, in the forest and everything like that. Takes her to his grandfather, who's this little old mute dude who, I don't know, I guess back in the day was some kind of badass or something, I don't know, but he has amazing martial arts skills, let's just put it that way. And he's going to teach her amazing life lessons, because that's how these films work. So, because you don't, if you've never, you don't just get raped in these films and then go to the police or, go home and, live a shattered life or go to therapy for the, you don't do that in these films, okay? You go over there, you train your ass off, you find some, little mystic guy off in the woods with his grandson, and you learn to beat ass even better than you could beat ass before. And that's what Cynthia Rothrock does. She goes over there, she beats some ass. One scene that I do want to bring up in the middle of this whole thing, one point she asks the little dude, alright, it's hard because I'm sitting down on something, okay? But if he were standing on the bed with me, which I don't need you know what, let's just bypass it. I don't need people thinking that there's like a kid standing. He'd be like this tall. I don't, you can't even see on the thing. Doesn't matter. But he'd be, but whatever. So he gets sent to go get some stuff from her house. And the worst henchman in the history of henchmen goes after this kid. And the reason, aside from the fact, I mean, he's worse than Don. This guy's fucking miles. Don makes that guy look like a fucking genius. I'm not even gonna give him an item. But in any case, so he goes over there, he's chasing the kid. They go up to the roof. And the kid proceeds to go over there and kick him off the roof. Now, this is pathetic anyway for the guy, because the kid's like 7 or 8. You just got killed by a fucking 8-year-old. You're a full-grown adult with a gun. How do you get killed by... And then I have the answer for you. The reason why is because they're climbing up on this roof, I guess in Thailand or wherever they were filming this, and they're on these stairs that are on the roof to get to, like, I guess the next section of the roof, and there's a railing for the stairs, but it's in the middle of the stairs, which leaves one section of the stairs just firmly right next to death. Just fall, die. Pitfall. Pitfall, like the fucking arcade, like the fucking video game, okay? And you don't get a hat and like a thing and but there's no crocodiles, so you're just gonna fall and die. You're not gonna be eaten by crocodiles. But it's still gonna be really unpleasant. It just is. Because you're gonna fall and you're gonna die. And I just bring this up because it's like, that just seems like the most flawed structural design in the history of structural design. If you're gonna build something where you have to get up on a thing and there's some stairs, you put a fucking railing on it, don't you? I mean, and then more absurd than that is the fact that they put a railing on it, but in the middle of the fucking steps. Why? Were they confused? Were railings not, like, introduced to Thailand, like, up until, like, 1993, and, by 92 they just were befuddled by it? I don't think that of the Thai people. I think that, I would love to see the building where this happened and ask why. That's my point in that. So in any case, she trains, she becomes the Lady Dragon, okay, hence the name, so she's the Lady Dragon. And so she goes over there, she has to kind of infiltrate Condom Face Richard Norton's organization, as it were. So she goes over there, kind of befriends his, like, fuck buddy, let's just call it that. I don't really have his lady friend of the night. I don't know. Not exactly what you're to call it, but she does that. In an incredibly see-through attempt to get close to her, which presumably just means that chick's just really, really stupid. But that doesn't matter. And she's with Richard Norton, so she's obviously not the brightest bulb. And yeah. But in any case. So she befriends him to get close to him. I don't know how exactly she expected this. I guess because last time she was wearing a wig and had colored her face a little bit. I really don't see. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what the duration of time was in between when Cynthia Rothrock was raped until she, decides to get back at him. So maybe it's been like a vast period of time. Or maybe Richard Norton in this film has enough people trying to do this who he then rapes that he can just go, you the Tuesday rape appointment or the Wednesday rape appointment. I don't, because I don't know what her plan was to show up in this thing just not wearing a wig and not slightly having her skin colored. But she assumed that it would work. It didn't. So, the two of them kind of square off. They do their whole thing. There's this big chase scene that ensues. And the thing I want to bring up about the chase scene is if you happen to be... God damn it, I was going to try to keep this like 15, 20 minutes, but it's going to be at least 30. If you happen to be like a person who opens like a fruit market or something, just don't open a fruit market unless it's indoors. Do not have an outdoor fruit market because eventually a car will drive through it and then several cars subsequently thereafter. Alright, because they just demolished this poor market, this open space market. So just don't do it, alright? Like, or get great insurance. Maybe they all have great insurance. Maybe that's it. Like, I don't know what the policy's got to cost, but I mean, the payout's got to be fucking ridiculous, because it has to happen, like, every 2 days. But anyway. So, alright. So they go over there, and it turns out that her friend, or her husband's friend, who was warning her at the beginning. It turns out that he's the one who betrayed her, or betrayed him, because he's a prick, and who cares? I mean, he's almost as bad, in the few scenes that he's in the movie, he's almost as bad, if not a little bit worse, in some ways, in the betrayal aspect, I suppose, than fucking Condom Face Richard Norton Coke Can McGee. He lights a poor son of a bitch on fire with a cigarette for no damn reason. Just none. Just none. That poor guy. And kudos to that stunt actor, by the way. I want to give some kudos to that stunt actor. I wouldn't want to be lit on fire, particularly if it was, like, on my face. So kudos to him. Fire is only... Okay, it just was a quick little segue thing. I know I'm trying, but... Didn't Smokey the Bear used to carry an axe, like a firefighting axe? Or am I just insane? Like, I remember that, and one of my friends remembers that, but then, like, my other friends don't remember that, so maybe I'm insane. I could just look it up, but I'd rather live with the idea that he did, because I love the idea of a bear with pants and a hat with an axe. That, to me, is just awesome. That's just cool as hell. Why can only you prevent forest fires? Because if you don't, Smokey the Bear is gonna fucking murder you with an axe out in the woods. He will find you. It will be some wrong turn bullshit. So, all leads off to this big squared out, or, this big final fight between Cynthia Rothrock and Richard Norton. So they start going at it, because that's what you do in these films. And I mean, there's I don't know how much there is to say exactly about the end fight that really makes it all that interesting. It's a pretty good end fight, I'll say that. Like, one of the problems sometimes where you get with American-produced martial arts films, particularly kind of the B variety, is that sometimes they don't really, like, the end fights tend to suck. Like, they don't come up with good opponents. They'll have lots of opponents, but none of them are worth more than, like, 3 or 4 hits. This is actually a pretty nice, long fight. It's not the best fight I've seen out of Cynthia Rothrock, but it's not the worst. It's, again, it's somewhere firmly in the middle, and it's Richard Norton, and Richard Norton possibly his just, least redeeming role. I imagine he went to a dark, dark place to fucking come in, to really work into this character, because it's not even just the standard evil guy that usually is this guy. It's really unsettling just how unpleasant he can be in this film. Particularly when you see films like Under the Gun, where go watch that movie, by the way. At some point I'll probably do a review, but go watch that, because that's a great role for Richard Norton. Kind of redeems him from this one, where he's just the worst condom-faced person you've ever met in your entire life. So, they duke it out. She wins because she's amazing. Little fucking cane dude with the flaccid guy eunuch. The guy I was talking about at the beginning of the thing. He's there. He gives her a bunch of money because she won the fight. And everybody lives happily ever after. They drive off to the fucking sunset. The end. Yay! Yay! Yay. Yay. Not gonna say yay right there. So, that's what happens in The Lady Dragon, okay? Now, that's my little review for it. I don't really have too much else to bring up, I guess, as far as, like, my next film, terribly unprofessional of me, I know. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. I was supposed to have that right here. I didn't. It was behind me. My next film is going to be another Cynthia Rothrock film. This one actually is her first film. It is, in fact, one of her best. She co-stars along with Michelle Yeoh in Yes, Madam. Okay? Great movie. Blu-ray copy. Buy it if you can. I was able to. The only other thing that I do want to bring up about this film before I go. This film has the distinct and unique honor of being the most expensive film I've ever bought. For some reason, this film is really hard to get a hold of in a Region 1 format. Now, if you look, if this prompts you to buy this, or anything else, if you're thinking about buying this, let me suggest just getting if you have a region-free DVD player, just buy the Region 2 one. It's like $20 at most. If you want to buy it here in the good old US of A, and I don't know why, by the way, most of these type of films are like $3. Not to say that it isn't worth it necessarily, but I paid $70 fucking for this thing. $70, and that was a decent price for it. Okay, on average right now on Amazon they're like 90 fucking bucks for this. Not even her best movie. This is a fucking Blu-ray movie that I went over there and imported from fucking Hong Kong, and even with the international shipping and stuff, it still didn't cost anywhere near as much as this. So, part of the reason why I'm doing this, just, my plea to whoever is in charge of DVD distribution of the world. Put a few more of these out, motherfucker. This is expensive. And as much as I love Cynthia Rothrock, I love films, god damn it, $70. I mean, 70 fucking bucks for this. 70 fucking bucks for this thing. Anyway, that's my last little thing. Okay, so I'm done with the review. I told you which movie is going to be my next movie. So I'm going to do my little ending thing here again. Any suggestions for a title for my movies that I'm doing, my things? Again, no eat dicks or cat videos, please. I don't need that. You know, no one needs that. There's like one guy who's just, his entire life is just to write eat dick and put cat videos on. They're the same individual. I'm going to hunt him down and kill him. My only fear is that I would then become him as a result. Or it'll cut off his head and it'll be like Highlander, and I'll get all of his weird fucking knowledge and shit about how to post, things about, sucking dick and cat videos. I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit. Don't bring that shit on me. But if anybody else knows this guy, just punch him in the face for me, alright? Please. So, my little ending spiel here thing that I do, which again, if you've watched these films, you'll have figured out by now. Hopefully you have. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. Okay. One of my DVDs fell off the bed. That's what that noise was. Thank you! Thank you for that! So, because I witnessed the return of the 5 deadly venoms, who brandished the legendary weapons of China, until a bloody hero used the Thunderbolt Fist to defeat them. For I am Brandon Wenzel, and I review martial arts films.